Hello, my friends. It's been such a long time since I did a speed build, so here is one now. I am using these sheets, so make a note of it if you want to copy this and make sure that you use them. This is going to be somewhat of a tropical build. I'm going to do a waterfall and I am going to do a complex of rooms that are in the air, floating, looking out over the waterfall. And I have this idea in my head when I built this, and it took me like forever to make it somewhat like what I had planned. You will see me move things around and things get a little buggy at sometimes, but I mean, just hang on. Um, with island living, we got these waterfalls, and they're not in the regular inventory, so you do need to use the sheets that I showed before to get at them. And then you just type in the search bar debug and you will find them. My tip is to filter on island living and they will be much easier to find. As you can see here, they're in this little, the picture that they're showing in isn't really that waterfall type, but just give it a search and you will find them. So um, I'm not going to talk all the way through. I will be silent for a bit and you can just have a watch because it's a really long, even if in this speed, it's a really long build. But I'm going to be quiet for some parts of it and I'm going to have some comments on what I'm doing. And in the future, if you prefer me to talk all the time, then please let me know in the comments below. If you prefer me to talk less, then let me know as well. I can't promise anything, but I will do my best. So I think I will leave you for now to have a look at what I'm doing, and I will be back if I have something interesting to say. So for this build, the rock placing was crazy. I mean, I tried to do some different types of rocks and I tried to add different textures and colors and things like that because I wanted it to be a little more natural. But I mean, the number of rocks that I placed, it's just. And you'll see later on that I have some issues with getting the rocks to go with the stairs, and yeah. After this build, I am holding off on working with rocks for a bit because this got really, really boring after a while. So this is me struggling with the stairs, trying to decide how they should look. I ended up being really happy with me deciding to go straight up 2 floors instead of landing on the first floor and then doing a separate staircase up to the next floor. And I also like that I split the stairs so it goes a bit wonky at some places, because I think that looks really good. And now I'm trying for the life to place the rocks so they make the staircase look natural. That this was the only way to build the staircase because of the rock formation, and I'm having a bit of a tough time with it. And some of the rocks disappears and they then enters again and they are in bad places, and yeah, at this point I was quite frustrated. Now I'm starting to build the house, which will not be a big consistent house. It will be made up by several rooms on different levels, and this is where I try to get the levels to add up, but for some reason I just forgot how the stairs in The Sims work, so of course later in the video I have to go back and redo the different parts so they connect, because I had in my head the idea that the stairs would go well, how to explain it, to be more like a bridge. But of course in The Sims, as we all know, the stairs go vertically, not horizontally, and yeah. So that was my mistake, and of course, as it is my mistake, I had to go back and fix it. time for the kitchen. So the kitchen will be the first room that you enter when you enter into the house from the outside, and I decided to make it really colorful. I have a really hard time working with colors in decorating spaces. I usually go for a more toned down, but this is the tropics, and the outside is such a beautiful place. I wanted the inside to be as vibrant as the outside. And I also wanted to get in as much windows as possible because the view is amazing if you're a sim. And right along here somewhere I also decided that I wouldn't do a traditional living room because there is so much enjoyment from the surroundings in this place, and it would be such a terrible crime not to enjoy them. So instead of doing a regular TV room or family room or what you want to call it, I decided to make it outside instead. So therefore I just put in a table over here where I originally planned for a little TV nook. So they get a dining room table, and that reef is just offset, but I mean, okay. So no curtains in here because, as I said, I really want the nature to come inside. And out here is the first deck, and I'm just going to make this like a family place to hang out in, making sure that there's some sofas, making sure that they have some fun things to do, some plants and things like that, and just making it so that the family that will live here in future spends as much time as possible outside. And of course this is The Sims, and I have seasons, so it will be pouring sometimes, so they still have their little huts to go into to protect them, but yeah, as much time as possible outside. And this will be the little kids room, and I'm going for a green theme here. And I decided to do the bunk beds, and I'm not using CC for this build, as I wanted people to be able to download it without having to lose half of everything that's in it. So I decided to do the sheet way of doing bunk beds, and they actually work as long as you don't put the pillows above the other pillow. So if you do it at an angle, and I also think that you can do them under each other, but then you need a gap. So the downstairs bed can't have a covered pillow by the upstairs bed, if you get what I mean. Here I'm just trying to see if I can add things to make them more not hovering in mid-air. So finally I found these pillars that I could use. It took me a while, but here a room divider, and like that. And then I will also put in a desk, and it will function even if you put a computer on it. So I really like this idea that the two kids are sharing this room, and they have this bunk bed and a little desk that they can use, and then of course more windows because it is the tropics and it looks beautiful outside. I spent too much time on that waterfall to have it not be noticed by everyone. So yeah, just putting up some decorations and adding some toys for them to play with, and just stuffing the room with fun things. And of course we need a carpet, so let's add that one. And the bathroom, because the huts are shaped the way they are, the bathrooms will all have funny shapes. And I found it really challenging to come up with ways to use it without having a lot of dead space. But yeah, it was a fun build. And here we will have a bit of skip in the video because I took a day off from building this. So we're back in it again, and we are building the second bedroom, and this will be the teen room or the guest bedroom, whatever you will use it as. I always try to put in a room for when the kids grow up and become young adults or teenagers, so they can have a bit of separate spaces. So yeah, just keeping with the colorful theme. And as I said, it's a challenge for me, and it's a good challenge to have. That just not everything needs to go in white and beige and browns and things like that. Add a bit more color to your life. I think that's what I'm trying to say, and especially in a place like this where color seems to be abundant even outside, it's nice to take that inside as well. So I'm adding a desk and a lamp and some curtains, and of course this feels a bit empty. I mean, as soon as you have a room that isn't feeling cozy, just add something on the walls and on the floors, and then put in some stools or something, and it looks much better immediately. So this is me turning the room like 3 times because I needed to get my head around the shape and how to use it. It is quite a difficult space to use, and as you can see, there is quite a lot of dead space in this room, but I couldn't figure out a better way to do it, so this will have to do. Just hanging up some things, trying to get a plant in here, but no. And then we have this outside area that we also need to think what we could do with. I mean, we add some sun shares, and I don't like the way that it fits. And then I discovered that I actually put the sink through the wall, and that's why it didn't fit. And finally, we will add. I'm trying to think if we should add something, but I regret it, but I will go back and add a bench to it. And finally we are arriving at the master bedroom. So this was also because of all the angles, I had a hard time figuring out what was the best place for the door. And I mean, we need somewhere to put the bed. And here we go. So the master bedroom will of course be a bit more luxurious than the others, because that's how I always design it, because mom and dad need their private space. And we put in a sofa and a dressing table and things like that, so they can have some of their own time here and do things that they really like. And yeah, we need some kind of shoe cabinet or dresser in here. And then we get to do one of the most fun parts of this build, and it was actually this bathroom. I don't know why, but I love doing bathrooms. That and kitchens are my absolute favorite. So I decided to put in a double shower corner over there, and then a place for the toilet at the other end. And then in between we have some sinks. So yeah, and because of the funny shape, this was also a bit unusual, but I really liked it in the end. Not that much of dead space as in the other bathrooms, so I'm happy with that. Yeah, just adding the final details, and then we will head out to the deck because we have a deck area that we need to decorate. So here is a space where mom and dad can just sit and relax, watch the beautiful surroundings, maybe a sunset, maybe having a glass of wine or some cocktails, having some their time away from the kids that can be in the lower areas. Yeah, just wanted to make it a peaceful place for them, and here I have a small meditation corner, and yeah, we are closing in on being finished. I'm just looking at a wall decoration, and yeah, then we need to go downstairs because we have this final plateau, and this, I think, I had planned to do this as a outdoor space, like where you could go to bathe and just have fun. But then I discovered that the ladder that leads down to the water wouldn't fit. Because I haven't built that many island living properties, so I was a bit unsure on how that ladder worked, and apparently this didn't work. So I had to skip that idea, but I still let it be this outdoor area where they can go to play and things like that. So yeah, that is the build. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for visiting my channel. Don't forget to like, to comment, to subscribe, and hit the notification button for more videos from me. Have a really good day, everyone. Bye!